took some time out of your evenings. Oh, you're recording now. Out of your evenings so that, we could just kind of talk about what we do and why we think you guys are awesome and could possibly do it too. So Danielle, why don't you give a little bit of your background and kind of explain how you got to where you are. I'm going to mute everyone in case there's background noises. Or actually, I can't. Danielle, you can.
Yeah, I was just going to say I was going to do that. Not mute myself, though. Okay, so I'll just give you a breakdown of how we kind of run these calls. Usually we get a lot of the same questions. So Noelle and I have kind of formulated some typical questions we get, and we'll go through and kind of answer them from our perspective, and then open it up to Q&A at the end for you guys to share a little bit about yourselves and anything. Hey, Claire.
Hi. Oh my God. So sorry. Ugh.
It's okay. I'm going to mute you. Okay.
Okay.
I know she likes to talk. She will. Don't worry. But so we like to keep it short and sweet because we know you guys are busy and obviously you're curious about what the heck this whole coaching thing is. So I'll share a little bit about myself for those of you that don't know me. I started coaching in September 2014, so about a year and a half now. And I started in a challenge group like most of you, and I was just getting out of graduate school in architecture, and I even became a group fitness instructor during my master's, and I felt like I was at my heaviest weight, and I just was really unhealthy, not sleeping well. Architecture is pretty demanding, so health and fitness goes out the door, and I was probably the person that went to the gym the most in my studio, which is kind of ironic. But I moved to a new city. I moved to Atlanta, and I'm from Philadelphia, and just kind of lost my sense of self a little bit. I had a few friends down here from high school and college, but I lost that belonging to something and feeling like I was a part of something bigger than myself. And so when my friend asked me to join a challenge group with her, I just saw it as a way that I could stay in touch with her a little bit better. She was a friend from college, and we lived in 2 different states and didn't talk much. So I was just like, sure, why not? I'll try something new. And I've always loved fitness. I've always loved to go to the gym and do group fitness. So it was kind of a natural thing. But I was never really sure as to what I should be doing or why I should be doing it. So when I started with 21 Day Fix and Shakeology, it was kind of like, wow, I can actually get results and still eat the things I want. This is pretty cool. So when I saw results, I kind of just naturally started sharing it. I got my mom hooked, and she actually was at risk for diabetes, and starting drinking Shakeology for 6 months daily, she dropped that risk, which is pretty incredible. She still, has her own thing and isn't so committed like I am, but I just slowly started sharing this with those around me, and it became this hobby to a part-time job without me really trying hard. It was just kind of a natural progression. And in that fashion, I kind of saw the opportunity for financial freedom. I've been in school for 7 years and accumulated a lot of debt, and I wasn't sure how I was going to pay that off. So I kind of saw coaching as this amazing tool to stay more accountable than I ever could before, as well as build, ways to take more vacations and pay off my debt and reconnect with friends like you guys all on this call. So it was kind of a win-win-win for me in a natural progression. And I sit here 16 months later making half the income I do at my full-time job. So it's just mind-boggling. But enough about me. Noelle, you want to chat?
Sure. And then Claire, you're up after, since you're here, and I love hearing you talk. So yeah, I started coaching actually October 2014, and it was just very similar to Danielle. Actually, not that similar. Let me back it up a bit. What happened in my life at the time was I just got married, and I moved from Washington D.C. to Milton, Florida, where Tina lives. Yeah. And it was actually a really hard transition for me because I left so much of a life that I built myself to become this wife in this middle of nowhere town that I literally knew no one. and it was really hard. I couldn't find a job in my field. I was a journalist, and working in an awesome hub like Washington to moving to a really small town that didn't have many opportunities. It was really hard. I felt very disconnected, and I didn't feel like I could contribute the way that I, had designed in my, my life design that I had planned for myself. So I had gained like 15 pounds that first year of marriage, and I tried everything. I went gluten-free. I tried gyms. I tried, group fitness things. I tried running, and I just couldn't get it to be. Yeah, my husband's in the military. That's why I moved to Florida with him. I feel like I'm gonna burp. I'm sorry. Whew, that happens sometimes. Okay, where was I? So after I was gaining weight and I couldn't lose it, I just felt stuck, and it was just like another added burden that I had attached to my identity. Like I couldn't find a job, I couldn't lose weight, so therefore I couldn't be a good wife, and I couldn't really enjoy myself. And I don't know if any of you guys have ever experienced just like all of this stuff that you put on your mind, all these burdens that you decide to put on yourself. It's really crippling. And it's very the same friend that Danielle, that got Danielle to do a challenge group, reached out to me, and I was at a really low point, and I said, I have nothing else to lose. Nothing else is working. I just need a little glimmer of hope that I'm not just going to be this wasted space, which is what I believed I was, which is totally ridiculous, because if any of you guys know me, like, I'm not this, like, down and about, like, morbid, pathetic person, but that's who I was at that time. So anyways, after doing 21-day fix, I started feeling more confident. I started eating better. I was losing weight, and I was feeling like I had something to look forward to every day when I would come home from work or before I'd go to work. I'd be like, I'm going to smash this workout because I can. It was like this awesome, we all know we're awesome. Stop doing the comment thing. It's totally throwing me off. Anyways, So anyways, I was loving it, and I started talking to my friends and my mom and just people. Like my muscles are so baby compared to what they are now, which I love to look back at those pictures. Yeah.
You froze a little bit.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
Unstable internet. Anyways, I don't know what you last heard, but I feel like I'm done because I don't know what I'm saying anymore. But I think I just said, what I was saying was I started naturally sharing my story to my friends and my family. Did you guys hear that part?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then my coach was like, Noelle, why aren't you doing this for real? And I was like, I don't know. Okay. And then the rest is history. That was difficult. Burping, muting, and unstable internet. That's my life in a nutshell. Claire, take it away.
Hey guys. Well, first I want to shout out to my girl Kelly on the call. Kelly and I actually went to high school together. It's probably been years since we've really actually seen each other, even talked to each other. But Kelly and I have kind of been chatting over the last couple months. She's not in a challenge group. She's not doing any products or anything right now. I just, been chatting with her because I was like, I told her that I thought she would make a great coach, and you can decide for that yourself later. But anyways, a little bit about me. Danielle had basically been messaging me for several months, and I was doing a bunch of half marathon training, and I was like, I can run for free. I don't need to do any of this other stuff or drink some shake or whatever. I don't need to pay for something that I can literally step outside and go run. And then kind of life just kind of took its toll. Every time, for me personally, that every time I move, and I've only moved within the city of Baltimore and like Montgomery County. So, but every time I move, like it's just always like a big disruption of my life. I get out of my routine, things happen, and this year was just so many big things happening at once. And and they sound little, but they do kind of rock your world. Like we got a puppy, we bought a house and we moved. Richard graduated from dental school. We had 3 weddings this summer that we had to, one of which we had to travel to. And here I am trying to fit into bridesmaids dresses and look and feel decent when we also had our engagement party this summer and getting ready for engagement photos. Like, it was just like, oh my God. I swear, I don't think we did. I think we went to happy hour and we're drinking for like nonstop for like 2 months. And I loved it and it was awesome. But anyways, and it was really funny because after saying literally no to Danielle for 8 months, and this is the magic number because I know it in my head now, by June, she had messaged me, and it was like after the wedding that we traveled to, and I was like, Lord knows how much weight I'd put on at that point. And she's like, hey, do you want to do this? And I was like, yes, I do. I was like, white flag in the air. I was like, yeah, I'll do it. And she said, hey, you can be a coach. And I was like, I don't know what the hell that means. But I actually signed up to do the 21-day fix and be a coach at the exact same time because I was like, I really can't afford Shakeology. I'm a mental health worker. I'm a grad school student. And I have like an insane schedule, but Lord knows I can't afford another thing. So yeah, I'll try this coaching thing. Like, I gave Danielle every excuse in the book. I was like, well, I can't be a coach because I'm not a personal trainer and I'm not an athlete and I am no one that anyone could look up to, or I'm not inspirational. I'm not any of those things. And what else? Like I was like, I'm not a salesperson. I refuse to like have to meet some crazy sales quota every month. Like I hate, like I'm not going to do that. Like I literally, like Danielle was probably like banging her head against the wall trying to talk to me. Eventually I said yes. And I was like, you know what do I have to lose? I kind of thought to myself, why not me? I wanted to do something to better my health. And for me at the time, it was, Tina. For me, the fire that kind of started was weight loss, but here I am 6 months later. I've gotten to work with and help over 30 people, and I'm starting my, little itty bitty team now. And I've been able to, I haven't matched any salary yet, but I've made, hundreds of dollars more than I thought I could, because this fall, as I became a full-time grad student, I dropped down to working 3 days a week, but interning the other 2 days a week. So I definitely needed the extra money, the extra income. And now that it's January, Richard and I's wedding is like becoming so real. Like literally every deposit for everything was due in January because that's 6 months out. And so my mom and I were kind of freaking out about that. Anyways, but I told Richard today, I was like, any of, our beach money that I make is going to go towards the wedding this year. And that feels really cool to say. So, that's a little bit about me.
I feel a post about that, Claire. I haven't seen that yet.
That's true. Yeah, good point.
You guys don't realize how awesome Claire is. Like all of those things that she says, like Danielle and I are just laughing at because she is like she's blown our minds by the hard work that she does and how easy she makes things look. Like the fact that she's like, I'm not a personal trainer. Well, if anyone went on her Facebook page, you'd think she is. She's that awesome. Right? All right. So to keep moving this along, we're gonna go through those questions that people typically ask. And Claire really, that was you pretty all the things that she said she wasn't are like. It's awesome.
Did I take the speech away?
No, it's not a speech. It's not a speech. It's just those things like I'm not a salesperson or like I don't have time. Like those are things that we've all said, and take it away, Danielle. I'll just keep talking.
Yeah. All right. So we have 5 or 6 main questions, and the first one is what exactly do coaches do? If you've seen our posts and you see maybe a little bit in our challenge groups, you guys know that we just honestly share our story. I've shared my journey from day one, and no, I did not share Transformation Tuesday posts in my sports bra day one. That did not happen. It took time. But I think the one thing I love about coaching the most that we don't talk enough about is we really work on ourselves first and foremost. So not only with your health and fitness, but with your mindset. So each of us have religiously listened to a podcast or read a motivational book for 10 minutes a day since we started coaching. And it's hands down been one of the best things I've ever done. Personally going through some stuff at work right now, if it had happened to me last year, like I would have blown up, I would have freaked out. But having that positive mindset has been such a key factor for me in coaching. But really just learning to unveil those layers of your vulnerability, because I think with all of you, you've connected with your coach because they've shared something that's personal to their story and who they are. So for me, it's really just, learning to open up and not be afraid to share those things. And that really comes from personal development, and it's part of the journey, and it takes time. And that's kind of the beautiful thing. I always say, people are like, I can't do that. And I'm like, scroll back to my post September 2014 and you will have a good laugh. Because my chapter 10 is so different than everybody's chapter 1. But, if you're not improved, you're improving. And that's the cool thing. You're always learning new things. So,
I had to laugh because I remember, wasn't your post like Shakeology or something, like the bag or something?
Yep, that was my first post, Shakeology bag.
Mine was like passed out on the floor with my dog after doing a workout. I was like, like that's cool. That's really cool. Okay, so the question that I'm going to talk about is how much time does it take? And I think this is a really good question because it also shows the variety in lifestyles that you even have, that we have represented here. So Danielle's a full-time architect. Claire does everything. Intern, has a job, and just getting married and other things that I don't remember. And then me, I'm a stay-at-home dog mom. So, which I didn't mean to make that sound lame, because awesome. It's the best job ever. But what's really cool is how Beachbody can fit in all of our lives very well. And how with Danielle, like, she's able to still run her business when she gets home or in between breaks. It's really great because what I always tell my coaches is all you need is an hour a day. All you need is to commit to what we call a power hour. And since we're really established teams right now, we have all of these tools that can help you so that you're not just floating around like, what do I do? Where do I go? Who do I talk to? We have systematic systems, that really help to make sure that you are using your time well and that you are organized. Because when I first started coaching, I did have a job and it was training. Thank you. It's just training. Gosh, it's like I'm word vomit or something. So I did have a full-time job and I really had to find the time to make sure that I was, putting in the time for Beachbody and not taking away from my job or my husband. And that was another thing that, we talk about a lot, spouse support or, significant other support, because what we're trying to do is we're trying to create a freedom for ourselves and our family. And if ever there's a time when you're like totally like disconnected from the things that are important, then you need to take a step back. And that all comes down to time management, working at a power hour. And these are systems that work. And if Danielle can do it and Crazy Claire can do it and I can do it, I mean, anyone can, really. I'm sorry I called you Crazy Claire, but it kind of worked. We're not crazy.
I'm sorry, I was going to say it really does. And I don't want to, I'll let you move on in just a second. But
Add to it.
Yeah, well, because I was going to say, yeah, I kind of am Crazy Claire. I do a lot. And my fear is when I talk about my story is that I feel like people think, my fear is that people think that, wow, I have to be either like Claire or do as much as her in order to be good at it or enabled to do this. And I really want people to know that if you are a busy person and you do a lot in your life, that it is possible to do this. And I was fortunate when I started Beachbody coaching over the summer that I was able to kind of get my feet wet before I was slammed with everything. And yeah, I am a full-time grad student, take 3 classes at night, work 3 days a week, intern the other 2, plan a wedding, manage my crazy puppy, try to say hi to my fiance every now and then. It's insane. And I managed doing Beachbody and I was fortunate to rank advanced this past fall in 4 months, which was really awesome. But and I'm not this amazing time management person. I am not the most organized person you meet. I am not extremely anal and perfect with deadlines. I'm definitely not that person. I think I try to strive for those things, but I am just because I do a lot doesn't mean that I'm perfect, but I think it's all about balancing. And like a lot of what we do when we onboard our coaches, we teach, you know, a lot of the basic activities, and you kind of learn what works for you and fitting that into your time and your lifestyle. Like I have a way of doing it, but it's different from Noelle and it's different from Danielle. And, you know, I think once you figure out what it is that you want, and if this opportunity is what you want, you make it happen no matter what. I mean, that's really what it is.
Yeah. And I would actually like to add too that I tell this to Danielle all the time, like sometimes I wish I were busier, because if I mean, you've all experienced what spring break is like when you're away from college or school or, you know, whatever, and you're like, what do I do with all this time? I mean, I have to deal with that every single day, and a dog that loves to nap, and I love to nap. So, so for me, power hour, if I miss it, I miss the full days of work. And I'm talking just an hour, which is crazy. So there's so many awesome tools out there, like I said, that we will help you with. So next question, Danielle.
Okay, the next one that everybody likes to say is, I don't want to come off too salesy. And I think we kind of touched on this a little bit, that if you're purely sharing your heart and positivity and just your journey and what you do daily, I mean, if you've been following your coach, you know that number one, we don't share all Beachbody stuff. I mean, maybe some weeks it might seem like more, but we are not Beachbody. We are Danielle, Noelle, and Claire. And that's what we share. We share our lives. We share our journey, our struggles, things that, you know, we've overcome. And people don't relate to perfection. They relate to the things that you've kind of had obstacles in the way, and seeing how you've overcome them. Or, you know, people like to see value and sharing a cool recipe, or, you know, I had this awesome experience today. It's kind of like if you went to a restaurant and you had an awesome server and the view was beyond gorgeous and the food was just like gorging, you ate dessert, the whole 9 yards, you would share it with your family and friends. You wouldn't just keep it to yourself and say, oh, Noelle, you can't go there. Like, I just got to keep it for my secret spot. No, you would share it with your family and friends. It's the same thing with coaching, that when it brings joy to your life and it does something positive for yourself, you share that with others. You naturally tell people around you what you're doing. And maybe you haven't done that yet, but I mean, I talk to my mom every day and she knows all about my team. She knows all about my challengers and how awesome you guys are doing. So really, when you just think positive and share positive, you're not going to be screaming prices out to people. Like, you're not a marketing ad. I don't have a business degree and I never want to be a salesperson. You know, I would do it for the free t-shirt. So if that says anything, you know, to me, it matters having a message back from someone saying, hey, you inspired me today. Like, that is worth $1 million trillion in my book. So that's kind of that question. Claire, do you want to talk about, do I have to be at my goal weight, or can I be a coach and start my journey at the same time, since you did? Whoops.
I think I was clicking. Sorry. I actually was just talking about this the other day. And no, I mean, a lot of what I realized, like I was explaining this to somebody, you know, you don't need to be an athlete to be inspiring. You don't need to have a perfectly balanced meal every day to be awesome. You don't need to have this idea in your head of perfection or of a coach or whatever. I think think of what attracts you either in social media or to other people. Like, you know, it's really, what's inspiring to me is seeing someone like showing up every day, no matter what it is. Even if you're tired, you're still doing it. Like, wow, like you must have some great willpower. Like, that's really inspiring. Like, that's really awesome. That's really motivational to see. Like, you know, if I'm stumbling out of bed, but you're already done your workout, like, man, I better get to it. You know, that's inspiring. Like, I don't care if you're 100 pounds lighter or heavier than me, you know, putting in the work is really what I think is what helps drive, you know, and posting daily is what people see. And if that's what they see you're doing, I mean, that I think in itself is really inspiring. I don't know if I need to add any more to that.
Oh, you unmuted me. Oh, I guess I'm next. Earning potential. I like it when you talk about this, Danielle. You're so good at this one. You do this one.
Okay, I'll take it.
Well, she's just better with talking about like money.
That's fine, yeah. So everybody wants to know, what is the earning potential? And, you know, like I said, I didn't come into this knowing that there was a financial benefit whatsoever. And it's definitely not a get rich quick. I will absolutely say that. Can you build extreme wealth over time? Absolutely. You can cancel out of that, don't worry. But I think what I realized is when I went to Nashville this past summer, every year Beachbody has a big coach conference, and there was like 25,000 coaches there. Noelle and I went, and that's the first time we ever met each other. And we had been working together for 9 or 10 months. So it was pretty awesome. But, you know, they recognize people on stage for their fitness accomplishments and their financial accomplishments, you know, paying off student debt. Yeah, I'm your Beachbody boyfriend. Paying off financial debt, people shredding their mortgages. And the biggest thing that Noelle and I took away from that is that this business does not discriminate with success. There were people on that stage that had six-pack abs. There were people on that stage that were 25. There were people on that stage that were 60. There were people on that stage that were clearly still in their health and fitness journey, being recognized as millionaires as a coach. So I love telling my coaches that you are the only obstacle that stands in your way from achieving anything you want in this business. And I wholeheartedly believe that because of working on personal development and putting your mindset in the framework that you can achieve anything. And, you know, I just started out wanting to pay for my Shakeology. I think probably Claire and Noelle would say the same thing, because that's kind of a easy measurable goal, and it seems achievable that you can hit it in the beginning. And we strive to help all of our coaches do that their first month, because it's a big cost, and we all love it. So, you know, why not get it for free and get to help people? But over time, I kind of saw like, okay, I can manage this. Why don't I raise the bar a little bit higher? And then I started making an extra $100 and then an extra $200. And to match more than half my income last month as an architect is just blows my mind. Like, I bought a car and a computer last month, and I didn't worry about paying off my credit card bill. In December, on Christmas, with gifts and flights and all kinds of stuff. Like, this business, yes, it's not about money, but can it create huge wealth for you if you put in 2 to 3 years of hard work? Absolutely. Does that mean that you need to come in with wanting to create huge wealth? Absolutely not. You could want to pay for your Shakeology and help people, and that's awesome. And I think that's the beautiful thing that we didn't really touch on yet, is you become your own CEO as a coach. Yes, you have a coach and they're there to support and guide you, but no one's telling you that you have to do this every month, or you have to talk to this many people, or you have to hit this goal, you know, income-wise. It's really what you want to make of it. And that's kind of the beautiful thing. And there's all different people on our team. You know, I think Noelle, Claire, and I would all say that at some point we'd like to at least go full-time or part-time. Noelle's already full-time with coaching. She left her job doing so, which is pretty incredible in a year. And for her, you know, military-wise, they move all over. So she doesn't have to worry about, oh, I have to find a new job, or I don't know if I can help my husband pay for the next rent payment. And same thing with Claire and the wedding. Like, it's just incredible that the freedom you can control with your actions and the way you go about it, and sharing positivity back into the world, like doing something totally productive and inspiring. And it's all learnable. There's nothing that, like I say, there's nothing special about us. Like, we all just spent time working on ourselves and sharing it. It really comes down to that. So I hope that kind of suits you guys. No, sorry. But we're going to unmute all of you guys and open it up so that you can introduce yourself if you are on the call, and share one thing that you are excited about and one thing that you are scared about with coaching.
And Tina, you can type it.
Oh, yeah. Lauren, you want to go first?
Sure. Hey y'all, it's Lauren. I went to high school with Danielle, actually. So it's kind of getting back in touch a little bit with her. We haven't talked much at all since we graduated. Ew, like almost 9 years ago. But I guess scary thing, I'm an introvert. So I think it's always tough for me to put myself out there, although I do enjoy writing a lot more than face-to-face communication. I will say that. So it's always scary to go and think about really opening up and sharing really personal things. I think it's been a lot easier doing it in our group that we're all in right now, though. And then one thing that I'm really excited about, and honestly, for me, I think, Noelle, your post the other day was so awesome. You really opened up and kind of shared a really, really personal part of your life, something that was kind of scary, and that was so cool to see, because I think there's been a couple of times in my life where I felt some very similar feelings, where you have a very very low or negative self-esteem or outlook on yourself, and being in a group that is so positive, it's almost impossible to have negative feelings anymore. So that's one of the things that I love, is knowing that when I turn the internet on my phone after work and I hear all these buzzing and beeps, it's just a little reminder that it's positive messages coming through. So that's something that I like to see.
I love that.
Yeah, I was about to say that too. Who said that?
Me.
Oh, I couldn't see it was Maximus. No, I love that. The community is really what really attracted Danielle and I and kept us here, for sure. Tina, can you type?
Yeah. Okay.
She's typing. Okay, so while she's typing, Kelly?
Yep, I'm here.
So what excites you and what scares you about coaching?
Okay. Honestly, this is my first time really hearing about it. Claire, what's up, girl? How's it going? She's right. We haven't seen each other in a while. I think the last time we saw each other was because I was dating some guy who was also in med school with her now fiance. Yeah. So that was how I saw you, but like we haven't seen each other in a while. So, but it's all good because we played soccer back in the day together, and it was fun.
Yes.
To be honest, I'll start with what I'm excited about. I love new things. I like trying new things. I like motivating people. I am a coxswain for the Baltimore Rowing Club, and for anyone who doesn't know what a coxswain is, I'm that little person in the boat that shouts at them and tells them what to do, but also is very encouraging at the same time. But I know what I want, and I want to win, and I want to see results. So that's why I love coxswain. What I'm scared of is that I'm still not quite sure what this is, but I'm very intrigued, and it seems like something I would be interested in, and I trust Claire completely. So I'm just right now going along with everything that's happening, and I'm happy to share whatever. And I appreciate everyone's stories and what's inspired them, and congrats for everyone who's already made such great progress. That's amazing. It's definitely not easy, and that says a lot about the type of people that you guys are. So I'm excited to potentially be a part of this group, but mainly I'm not sure what's going on.
No, totally, Kelly. And you and I will chat more afterwards. I know you and I both so busy, like doing school and all your stuff. We've both managing the engagement stuff too. So we'll chat.
Okay, sounds good.
And we have less than 1 minute, and we just got Tina's response.
Yeah.
So, which I think is great, and I'm really afraid we're gonna get cut off. So I will talk to you after this, Tina. I'm like freaking out. Anything you want to add, Danielle?
I was just going to say thank you for your time, and your coach will follow up with you after the call to talk a little bit more, and so you can spew questions at us. But thank you guys for your time, and it's nice to see your faces.
Yay. Have a good night, guys.
I'll message you, Tina.
Thank you.
Talk to you soon, Kelly.
See you,
All right, bye.
Bye.